this is the new setup. What do you guys think about it? I think it came out pretty good. It took me a while to set up everything. It was a pain to honestly move everything, but the bed is now out of the picture, so that makes this setup objectively better than the previous. The mic is now out of frame as well, so I think overall it came out pretty great. And on a side note, if you guys have the option to choose, I definitely recommend having wheeled furniture if you're doing some sort of setup like this. It really came in clutch with just making things easier to move around. So if you have the option, definitely check out and consider wheeled furniture. But before I get into what's in this setup, I want to quickly thank you guys for helping this channel pass 500 subscribers. Thank you guys for all your support, and I plan on continuously improving the content on this channel moving forward. So let's start with my lights. In front of me, I have two softbox style lighting about 45 degrees to my left and right, and they just give a nice even white lighting across the whole setup. And then secondarily, I use the GVM 800D RGB lighting kit. I have two of those, and they give me the background effect right here of, the blue and the red mixed together. I thought this would give a nice, kind of exciting look rather than just having a plain white background. So those are the ones that I've added onto the setup recently. And then what else I added recently was the drawer right here from IKEA. It's the Alex drawer, and that just makes it a lot easier for me to keep all the gear I'm getting to review. I mean, before I was living a drawerless lifestyle, minimalistic, but now that I'm getting all this gear, I needed somewhere to put it, and the Alex drawer is the perfect fit for me. Other than the GVM RGB lighting and the Alex drawer, everything else was things I've already had, and I just kind of rearranged them to be more functional. So I basically split my desk here into two parts. I have the left side, which is the more sort of recording aspect of it, and then on the right side is more of like the workspace. Obviously, ideally, it would have two different desks for that, but I've only got one desk, so I'm using what I got. Before I forget, let me show you guys the shots that this setup is capable of. So obviously, you have the front-facing camera here that gives us this shot, and then after that, I have a camera up top here that's off screen that gives you a shot like this. So I can bring in products here and just have this kind of a shot, and then also I can mix the two as well, which gives us this effect. So I can talk to you guys and then also show you the product as well at the same time, and that is really awesome to have. The chair I'm using, I don't really know what brand it is, but I got it on Amazon, and it's a mesh ergonomic chair. So if you're like me and have been getting like mediocre chair experiences, for around $200 you can't really beat this chair. It's a really comfortable chair, and it doesn't make your butt sweat. Okay, so if you want to check this out, there will be a link. Also, it kind of seems weird to talk about this, but I upgraded the wheels on this chair, and I didn't even know this was a thing, but instead of like the typical plastic wheels that come on your chair, it's more like a rollerblade wheel, and that just makes it a lot quieter and smoother. And especially if you are recording videos, you don't want that plastic sound to come up on the videos. Not to mention, it's freaking smooth. So I mean, you just gotta try it for yourself to really know what it's like. Now onto the desk. So it's a regular desk from IKEA. I believe it's 52 inches, but this is definitely something I want to upgrade in the future. But on the left here, I have the M Audio Axiom Mini MIDI controller, and I use that in my DAWs to trigger the digital instruments, so like violins or drums or whatever like that. It's just a lot easier to use a MIDI controller. On the right here, I have my keyboard, which is a Corsair K70 RGB keyboard with MX Cherry brown switches. I love mechanical keyboards, so that is a no-brainer for me. So on the right of that, I have my MX Master 2S mouse, which I'm not using to its full capacity. The main feature on this, which is, I think it's called Flow, where you can drag a file from one computer onto the other computer and it just transfers automatically. That is a big feature of this, but sadly I'm not able to use that right now because I don't have a proper laptop setup where I would be using that. but definitely will be using that a lot more in the future. Next up is my 11 rack from Avid. They have discontinued this, but it was around $300 new when I first bought it a long time ago. And this is what I kind of started with when I was making music. It has a bunch of guitar sounds, amps, you know, what have you. And it has a built-in audio interface where you can plug in a mic or your guitar. So this is definitely one of the main powerhouses in my setup when making music. Above that, I have Logitech speakers. Now, obviously in an ideal world, I would have had better speakers. Honestly, I don't recommend these for production, like making music or anything like that. I mainly use these just for media consumption. So for that, it's fine. But if it's, let's say I'm making a track, then I would not use those. Instead, I would just plug in my Audio Technica M50Xs into the 11 rack. It just has a better monitoring experience. And then in the middle of those, I have the Motu M4 audio interface. And I'm gonna be honest with you guys, I probably could have went with just the M2. And as I'm using it right now, I'm just using it like an M2, honestly. But I got the M4, and it does have the option for when I get a keyboard or anything like that, I can just plug it in. But I really like the LED screen, monitoring screen that it has in the front, and I've been enjoying it so far. Now above that, I have my 2 monitors, and I know it's not even. I have the Dell monitor, which is 21 inches, and then on the right I have an LG monitor, which is 27 inches, but again, I'm just using what I have, all right? So please bear with me. And funnily enough, the 21 inches is actually perfect for my current setup. It gives enough room for what's on the left of it, which is my boom arm from Rode. It is really smooth. What can I say? It's high quality boom arm, but what it's holding is the Rode NT1A XLR condenser microphone. And this is the microphone I use for everything, honestly, for recording music, recording these videos. I only have this one mic, so, and it's doing perfectly fine for what I need it to do. And then we have the cameras. So I'm not using anything fancy. I'm just using 2 Logitech C920 webcams, both for the front and then the camera on top. And they're small, so I mean, they film in 1080p. For now, that's perfectly fine for what I'm making. And eventually maybe I'll get a DSLR, but right now webcams are fine. And what the camera in front right here is sitting on top of is a Polaroid tripod, which I do not recommend anyone getting. I mean, I got like the cheapest one. I got this many years in the past, and for what I'm using it as, just as a stationary sort of mount, is fine, but anything else is really not smooth at all. So I would definitely not recommend this. But it seems like the budget tripods nowadays are pretty great. Just try one of those out. Don't try this one. As far as my guitars go, on this channel I mainly use my Gretsch Jet Club, which is around like $300. That's what I'm using for all of my gear review videos. I do have a Fender acoustic electric guitar as well as a Squier bass, but I don't really use those for the videos on this channel, mainly just using those for when I make music. So that was my 2021 YouTube studio setup. I hope you enjoyed this video, and again, thank you guys so much for helping this channel pass 500 subscribers. If you like this video, hit the like button, make sure to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.